Hi there, so in this video I'm going to show you how to use inheritance in C++. Now what we are going to do is we are going to first create one Win32 console C++ project in Visual Studio. That will be empty such as this, and you have to add new class into it. I have created new class demo.cpp. If your IDE is code blocks or Eclipse or any other, then you have to respectively create console project in it. Now let's come to the concept of inheritance. Here, when it comes to inheritance, think of it as parent-child relationship. There are some attributes that remain with parents and some that gets passed on from parent to child. Okay, same applies in inheritance concept in C++. Now we'll take a look at one example so that you can understand. Let's first include our string, then we will call for namespace standard. After that, let's create one class named farm. Now inside we have some public members. So let's start with one function. Let's name it void sheep count, and it accepts, let's say, integer. And here I'm going to use one variable named sheeps and assign w to it. Note that I didn't declare sheeps yet. It is going to be integer value which is going to be protected. So another is, let's say, cells, and here we have integer, let's say o or h. Then here I want to simply use cell equals to h. Now we have our shapes, we have our cell. Now in private member we are going to use integer sheeps and integer cell. Okay, once you have these two, you have your class ready, which shows that you have sheep in your farm and also the number of sale. Okay, now the function sheep count and sale are basically just assigning the value to respective variable. Okay, now we're going to inherit from this class farm. Okay, so create a new class. Let's name it farm bids and use colon just once, and then call for public farm. So all the public members and protected members will be accessed, but as you can see this is private, so this won't be accessed. So let's change that to protected. Okay, so that we can access the sheep and sale. Okay, now inside our farm base we have public member, and here I'm going to create one function that returns integer value. So this is profit function, and it returns, let's say, sheeps multiplied by cell. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to create main method, and here we're going to create instance of our farm class fm, and here I'm going to call for farm.sheep count and pass, let's say, 12 sheep. Then I'm going to pass fm.sales total 5. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm also going to access our farm base class. So let's go ahead and do that. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to output profit, and here I'm going to call for fm dot profit. Now this will show you error because farm has no member profit. Why this happens? So I made this error purposefully to show you that your parent class cannot access child's methods. Okay, but your child class can accept parents methods and including its owner. So instead of farm, we have to use farm base as our class this new object. So this fm will be our class new object. So this farm base fm will now able to access this sheep count, also the sales, and also this profit. Okay, now let me finish the rest of the code. Here I'm pausing console and also returning 0. Okay, so it should return me this 60 as profit value, as we accessed all the parent class properties from child class. That's the basic inheritance that you can learn. Okay, so one important concept here is that child can access parents public and protected member functions and variables, but parent cannot access your child's public, protected, or private properties. So that's in short inheritance lesson for you. So let's execute this and you can confirm the rest. I'm going to build this. Okay, it will take a few seconds. And as you can see, it shows you this message profit 60. So that goes to show you that you can create a class, then you can access that class by creating a child class, and then let your child class access the element individually and then work with it and then call it by creating object. Okay, so we created one object of your child class, individually accessed your parent class properties, and then call for its own method that works with individual properties from your parent class. Okay, so this is inheritance in C++.